Okay, the scam baiting videos I make for this channel always seem to be pretty popular, and people are always asking me to make more. And I will, but not every conversation I have with a scammer turns into something I can make into a full video. In fact, the significant majority of my scam baiting attempts go nowhere at all, or at least not very far. However, we can still have some fun along the way. So this video is a compilation of some of the shorter conversations. This is part 3 of the scammers who dumped me. Betty Williams, the widow of Williams Campbell, because that's how names and surnames definitely work, contacted me, claiming of course to be on her deathbed and asking me to take over administration of her legacy and continue her good work, making reasonable donations to good causes. I said, okay. It was no surprise at all to learn that this legacy amounts to millions of pounds sterling, and she wants to entrust me, a complete stranger, to look after it because her late husband's surviving relatives aren't Christians and therefore can't be trusted. I am to contact the attorney Barrister Phillips Sessions because, again, that's definitely how names work. Seems legit? I said, yes. She said, how are you doing today? Contact our lawyer for more information. I said, okay. She said, write to the lawyer. So I did exactly what she told me to. I wrote, to the lawyer. She replied, do not dare to do so, okay? I said, of course, okay. But, sadly, she never responded again, despite me continuing to say, okay. Thomas Nelson contacted me to offer a unique investment opportunity, saying, hello, are you interested in binary options trading? Invest with a trusted manager and achieve better profitability within 72 hours. You may get up to $32,500 or more, with a real and licensed company. Well, methinks he doth protest too much, but let's read on. In 7 days, I can help you with your account. With a minimum of $300, you can be sure to get $4,500 per week, 7 trading days. He listed some attractive-looking deals and said, everything in weekly winnings are 100% guaranteed. Payout is insured. Winnings. Right. I said, please tell me more. He replied, hello, in regards to the investment, when you invest, I will trade for you in a period of 7 days, and you will get your payout 5 times your investment funds. Do you have a Bitcoin wallet address? I urgently need your positive response. He also seemed to be having some trouble with the coding in his email signature, but no matter, because I said, yes. He said, I'm very sorry for the late response to your email. In regards to the investment plan, when you invest, I will trade for you in a period of 7 days, and you will get 5 times payout, and my payment will be 20% from your profit. Binary option is platform where I trade my investors' funds. Your urgent positive response is needed. I replied, I see. What amount do you recommend? He said, you can invest as minimum as $500 to get $3,700 in a period of 6 days. I said, so your commission out of the 3,700 euros is like 740 euros? I switched the currency to euros just for fun. He confirmed, yeah, that is my commission. I need your urgent positive response. I said, I do have one more question before that. I didn't bother mentioning what that question was naturally because in my experience there are few things more infuriating than somebody telling you they've got a question but not saying what the question is. He said, okay, now are you ready to invest now? Lots of question marks. Such a professional, don't you think? I said, no, I told you there's another question. I still didn't specify what it was though. He asked, what is your question? I said, my question's this. If you have a scheme that can dependably multiply money by a factor of 5 in a week, why do you need anything at all from me? Why wouldn't you just take the commission output from one of your previous deals, then use the profits from that as the starting capital for the next round, multiplying your money by 5 every cycle? By my calculation, if you start now, you will own all of the money in the entire world by sometime in early October. Please, can you tell me why you haven't done this? For some reason, he just didn't reply. Pastor John Mike emailed me, 2 first names, totally legit, to say, Dearest in Christ, my name is Pastor John Mike. I am 55 years old. I'm writing to you from my hospital bed because recently my doctor confirmed that my cancer disease, which I've been treating for about 2 years now, risks taking my life. To present the act to which I have expressed this desire as I will like to donate what I have inherited from my family so you can fulfill my last wish. However, I wanted to kill 2 birds with a stone. By confining this important project to you, which is very important to me, that means to help the orphans, underprivileged children, and then to provide sufficient fund that will enable you to establish a small-scale industry. I will like you to promise me that you will abide by my request, and desire that you will not go contrary to my wish. Now, there is last of my money, which no one knows, is the cash deposit of $5 million US. What a surprise. That I have with a shipping and security company. I will want you to help me claim it from them, because the doctor said that I will die soonest. I said, why do you want to kill birds? That just seems cruel. On the one hand, you want to help orphans, but you also want to kill birds? I can't understand you. Without even addressing my concerns, he carried on with his script and said, "Dear Mange 2 in Christ, how are you doing? I can see that you're an honest person. I now know that if I die, you will help me handle my money very well according to my instructions. But today my sickness is more serious now. The doctors say I will be going in for operations now, and the doctors say I will die. But if you hear that I am dead, I will pass a message to you on how to distribute my money for me. Please pray for me. Now, read this email below and do according to my instructions. All you have to do now is contact the MPM Shipping Company. Inquire from them if my 2 consignments deposited with them are still pending and safe with them. For safety purpose, I did not disclose to them that it's money in their care. I packaged this money in 2 gold-plated boxes as I packaged this money in 2 gold-plated boxes as consignment, inconspicuous-like. Bear it in mind that MPM Shipping Company does not know the content of the consignment because I registered it as gold bars and not money. Excuse me. Please get back to me as soon as you contact them so that I can know what is going on. Below is the email address of the company. Contact them now. God bless you. Amen. Wait your immediate response to avoid delay on it." I just said, "Please don't kill birds. They've done nothing to you." He just sent me another copy of his original pre-written email. I said, "Will you please not kill birds? We should respect wildlife." He didn't respond, so I just said, "Please do not kill birds." Nothing. I'm not sure I stopped him from killing birds. Oh well, I tried. Dianna emailed me to ask, "Hello dear, you speak or write English?" I said, "Sorry, no, I don't understand English." She ignored this and then sent me a long email describing herself, including a section in the middle that was written in the third person, which was weird. I replied, "I told you, I don't speak English, never have." She asked, "Which language do you speak or write, please?" I said, "Well, not English." And that seemed to be the end of that. Dempsey Grief, a surgeon from the Yemen, decided to hit on me, saying that my picture was amazing and attractive, and I am a beautiful soul. "Ah, thanks." I said, "Hello." He replied to tell me about his important and dangerous work at the battlefront, but how it was worth it because he meant he could reach out to people like me. He asked, "You can tell me more about you?" I said, "No, I cannot tell you any more about myself. They are watching." He asked, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Shh." Mr. Michael emailed me with the following interesting news. "I am very happy to inform you about my success in getting those funds transferred abroad with the help of a new partner from one of the leading European countries. I didn't know it was a competition. I withheld the name of the country for security reasons." Yes, I'm sure countries value their privacy. "Currently, I am in Europe for investment projects with my own share of the total amount that I am investing in real estate business. Meanwhile, I did not forget your past efforts and attempts to insist me in transferring those funds, despite that it was not successful with all your efforts. Now, contact my Reverend Father in Accra, Ghana, through his contacts as described below. Ask him to send you the bank of draft with the amount of $450,000, which I kept as compensation for all your past efforts and attempts to assist me in the fund transfer. And the contact name is Reverend Pastor Roland Elvis, St. Peter's Church of England, Accra, Ghana. I appreciated your efforts at that time very much, so do not hesitate to contact the Reverend Father and instruct him where to send the bank draft to you. Please let me know immediately you receive it so that we can share the joy after all your efforts at that time. At this point, I'm very busy here in Europe for the investment projects which I and my new partner is having at hand. Finally, remember that I have instructed the Reverend Father on your behalf, so do not hesitate to contact Reverend Roland Elvis. He will send you the bank draft without any delay. I wish you a happy time of life." So this is a scam designed to hit people who've been victims of previous scams by trying to offer them false hope that the scam was real. Of course, the purpose is just to get more money out of them, kicking them when they're already down. So I replied, copying in Pastor Roland. "Dear Mr. Michael, I am truly grateful for the Reverend Pastor Father Roland Elvis. It's no exaggeration to say that his work has been quite adequate. Now, for a man of the cloth, the Reverend Pastor Father Roland Elvis seemed quite short on patience. Perhaps that was just the strain of ministering for 3 completely separate Christian denominations. He said, 'I am waiting.' Yes, before he left the country, he gave me bank draft worth of $450,000 on your behalf. All you have to do is send your house address where I will send this bank draft to you. Also your telephone number. I am waiting to hear from you." Well, what a lovely man. I was moved, really I was. So I said, "Many thanks for your lovely email. You seem such a lovely and godly man. I can tell this from just a few written words. With that in mind, I would like to donate this money to your church to help with the work you're doing there. Please pay the money directly into the treasury of your church. That way we can avoid any troublesome bank fees or legal charges or taxes or anything like that." Bless you. He never replied, even after I sent him a patient and kind reminder saying, I am waiting. Mark Lukunku emailed me to say, I sent you an email about a pending inheritance of $47.7 million US. Did you get my previous email, or should I resend it again? $47.7 million seems like the sort of thing I could have forgotten about. I said, I don't remember anything about that. Who are you? I think you might have the wrong person. He replied, obviously just copying in a standard response because he missed the first letter of his template, saying, thank you for your email. Now, I won't bother reading the rest of the message because it was all just a very standard inheritance scam story. I said, I think you must have mixed me up with someone else. My name's not Hank. He clearly was on autopilot, not actually reading my replies at all, as his next email was the usual kind of template asking me to contact the bank, providing my personal information. You know, the sort of information you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I said, I don't know if you're reading my messages. I keep telling you, I'm not Hank, and I don't even know anyone of that name. I wish you all the best in your search for Hank, but I simply don't think I can help you with it. I guess at this point he must have started paying attention to what I wrote because he never replied anymore. Nora Jane wrote to me saying, it's my pleasure to finally get a chance to write to you. I would like to be sure that your email is active. Please respond to me as soon as possible. Have a great day. Cheers. I replied, you can trust me, but can I trust you? She replied with a very standard dying widow story. Her husband had been rich, she was now dying after a life of philanthropy, and now she wanted me to bear the burden of her remaining enormous fortune. I said, that all sounds very lovely, and I wish you all the best with your project. It sounds like you have everything under complete control here, so I don't imagine we will have cause to speak again. But I was wrong. She wrote back saying, I will be very glad if you will accept to be my next of kin. You have to assure and promise me that 60% of the fund will be donated to any charity organisation. You can use 40% to help yourself and invest in any profitable business that can bring annual income. I really thank the God Almighty for making me to see the sky of today. Please read below the 6 purposes of how I will like and wish you to use the fund, please. 1. 20% of the money will be for this purpose, which I cannot mention for monetization reasons. People who lost their families during this disaster. 2. 20% will be for motherless babies' home / orphanage. 3. 20% will be House of Almighty Deaf and Dump Training Centre. 4. 40% will be for you and your family for helping a dying woman wishes come to pass. Be informed that at this time I am not using any telephone because I have lost my ability to talk, but we can only communicate by email. I will contact the bank where the money is deposited. I will send your details to the bank so the fund will be released to you, if you're willing to help in this situation. I will appreciate if you will send me the details below, so I will contact the bank and my attorney to inform them that you are my appointed next of kin, and I will instruct them to release the fund to you within 4 working days. Provide the information stated below. Name, address, private telephone number, scan copy of your identity ID card or passport copy. You know, say it with me, all the information you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I need you to assure and promise me that you will use this money according to my wishes. As soon as I receive all this information from you, then I will contact the bank and my accountant to inform them of my plans to make you the next of kin to the money. Next of kin to the money. I said, Dear Nora, stop. Wait. I am very confused. I did not realize that we would have to become kin. This is a problem in my culture. Also, you mentioned there are 6 purposes for the fund, but you only listed 4. Am I mistaken about this? Are the House of Almighty, Deaf, and Dump Training Centre 3 separate things? If so, how will we divide 20% between those 3? 20 is not exactly divisible by 3. Sorry for all the questions, it's just that your email has me very confused. She said, Dearest in the Lord Manuel, forgive me, old age, it's 4 purposes. Please follow the instruction, I have little time. I replied, okay. She said, waiting to hear from you. I said, okay. Nothing much happened for a couple of months. So I eventually wrote to ask, are you still alive? She said, I am alive. I said, okay. I guess I'll wait another couple of months and ask again. Sandra Amaka contacted me in an email titled Dear Old Customer, saying, Dear Old Customer, my name is Sandra Amaka, a computer scientist with the Central Bank of Nigeria. My email to you is confidential and I want you to keep it secret to yourself and cooperate with me accordingly. I write to notify you that a fixed deposit in your name with a maturity date of December the 9th, 2017 is now available to be activated for withdrawals and transfers. In light of recent developments and meetings, the directors of this highly esteemed bank have decided to irrevocably grant you full access and control of the account. We sincerely apologise for any delay that you might have encountered in the past. Your payment is now 100% guaranteed. I replied, It's a bit rude to refer to me as old customer, don't you think? I think the term senior client would be more respectful. Sandra replied, Dear senior client, Your email is well received. And then she went on to lay out the usual scam nonsense. I said, thank you, that's much better. Now, what's all this about? Which prompted her to presumably paste in some standard blurb saying, Dear old customer, your email is well received. Let me know if you want your funds via ATM card, online banking, bank-to-bank wire transfer or diplomatic cash delivery. Attached is my official ID card. So I said, you called me old again. I don't appreciate that. She sent the same email again, but addressing it Dear Manuel, which was nice, but the title of the email still said Dear Old Customer. So I said, stop calling me old customer. It's very rude. She said, if you're not ready to send the fee and receive your funds, kindly fill and return the United Nations rejection form attached to this email. The title of the email was still Dear Old Customer, so I said, stop calling me old customer. She sent the same email but had now edited the subject line to remove the words and repeated the instructions saying, if you're not ready to send the fee and receive your funds, kindly fill and return the United Nations rejection form attached to this email so that your funds will be cancelled and deleted from Central Bank of Nigeria's database. View the attached file for your perusal. I said, I do not wish to fill in the rejection form. Is there a form I can fill in to reject the rejection form? That seemed to bring an end to matters. I never heard anything further. Harry Mike, because that's a real name, Harry Mike Riddering emailed me to say, please help me. My name is Harry Mike Riddering. I am sending this brief letter to solicit your support and partnership to transfer 10.5 million US dollars. The money belongs to my late father, Mike Riddering. My father and my mother were among those who were killed in a 2016 terrorist attack at Splendid Hotel in Burkina Faso. Now, the story about the murder of an American missionary is true, so I'm not going to make jokes about that. However, the truth of the story makes it very simple to check and confirm that Mike Riddering never had a child named Harry Mike Riddering. Anyway, I said, okay. Harry Mike replied with the usual scam template email saying, thanks for your massage to me. I really want you to help me out of this situation because I was in the bank to claim the money my late father left for me, but I was told by the bank manager that my late father gave an instruction that the money should be released to me only when I present a foreign guardian who will help me invest the funds overseas. And asking for my personal details. You know, the sort of details you should never share with a stranger on the internet. I replied, I don't think I'll be able to help you with this as I do not know any foreign people who would be able to act as guardian. Harry Mike said, don't be afraid, I've already chosen you as my foreign guardian who will help me invest the funds overseas. I'm here to guide you and provide all the necessary information concerning this transaction. I said, that's what I was trying to explain to you. I'm not foreign. I've lived here all my life. Do you see what I mean? I imagine that must have resolved the confusion as I did not hear any more from Harry Mike. Richard Roberts wrote, my name is Richard Roberts, an investment broker based in London, UK. I have a profitable business proposition that I can chat with you if you don't mind. I have a Russian client who came to the UK to invest. He made a £5 million deposit which was held in financial custody until the British authorities ratified his documents before he could invest in the United Kingdom. During this time he returned to Russia and was unfortunately involved in an accident which cost him his life. The 5-year fallow period is over and I tried everything humanly to find my known parents without success. The fund managers asked me to introduce one of their partners, agents or parents to see if I present you as their partners, representatives or parents will give it to you. That doesn't even make sense. I want you to collaborate with me so that we can share and invest this fund. It's managed by you. Thank you for your cooperation and I look forward to your response for more details. I said, hi Robert, I'm not sure. I don't have any Russian children, so it seems unlikely that I'm eligible to be presented as this man's parent. Richard clearly hadn't started reading my messages yet as he just pasted in a template response saying, thank you very much for your answer. This is a fund I want you to work with me to be transferred to your account, to be shared or invested by both of us as we may agree. And it's a free fund that's been there for over 5 years and you do not have to have any Russian children to be named his partner, successor or representative. I am conversant with what the law states here and you can perfectly fit into the arrangement. He went on to describe in great but very dubious detail how this was supposed to work. I said, dear Robert, I think I understand what you're saying, but still it sounds strange to me that we will present false evidence to the authorities. I mean, I was not, as far as I know, the partner of this person before his death, so claiming that I was would be something like a lie, wouldn't it? I don't know the legal terminology as I'm not a lawyer. Please clarify. Richard said, I thank you so much for your response and your apprehension. Is well noted, but I'm telling you that claiming you are his partner as required by law is not a lie, because there's a lacuna that allows offshore partners who are not resident within the state where the company operates to file for an affidavit of facts and claims at the Royal Court of Justice, and it will be accepted as evidence based on the law. Followed by a whole lot of waffle that again is very, very dubious. But it was good, not because of anything he said, but because we had forced him to waste time handwriting a response rather than pasting in a template. I was still unsure though, so I said, so if I'm understanding you correctly, I can become having always had been was a partner of the deceased Russian guy, even though I'm not currently his partner, and currently I was not his partner. It can be changed from not having been his partner to when before that I was his partner, and then I will have been, and by extension I will be always was now. He replied, the documents would take care of all of that, according to the law. I said, I see. Just one other question. Why did you choose me? How did you get my address? He said, I thank you so much for your response and question. Honestly, I got your address by accident. I was searching for Anne Friend, who married an American, and later they were divorced, and unfortunately, I was unable to get his address, but yours pooped up, and I decided to write you. Bearing in mind that if I don't, they will confiscate this money. Also, I want you to understand that communications has made the world a global village, and I am sure this is an opportunity for us. I said, how strange. What is the name of the friend you were searching for when my email pooped up? As you say, communications has brought the whole world together, and yet we're somehow more distant from each other than ever. I should probably get back in touch with the person you mentioned if it's someone I know. He said, there's nothing strange with that, and if my search was successful, I definitely wouldn't have contacted you. His name is Emmanuel. I said, dear Roger, not Emmanuel, surely no? What a small world. I think he had to change his email address a year or two ago, due to some trouble with an excess of spam or something. I think I have his new address written down somewhere. Would you like me to put him in touch with you so you can go back to plan A, as it were? Now, speaking of Emmanuel surely no, we interrupt this broadcast for this brief commercial message. You laughed when you heard the ballad of the soul called John Warosa. You cried when you listened to the haunting tones of my friend, Please Listen to Me.
My friend, listen to me. I don't know what you are doing.
And you let your hair down with the pirate metal Warosa. Now, for the first time, all these and more are together in one place. The album, The Sounds of John Warosa. Featuring these exclusive tracks. And if you act now, this exclusive bonus album, John Warosa Panpipe Moods. Remember, this album is not available in stores. Act now to get listening to the sounds of John Warosa. So, where were we? I had been replying to Richard Roberts, calling him Robert, who claimed he had found me, Manuel, while searching for an old friend called Emmanuel, who I was now claiming to know. He didn't reply for a couple of days, so I asked, please, let me know if you want me to put you back in touch with Emmanuel surely no. I worked with him for 10 years and we were pretty good friends. I imagine that might be why my name came up when you searched for him. He seemed to be losing his temper a little bit now and replied, I sincerely told you what happened, and you were kind of muddling this whole thing. Who, me? Even referring to me as Roger. Simply put, you do not want to partner with me, so let us leave it, because his name is Emmanuel, but his surname is not Surlino, so he's not the one. I said, Dear Robert, you're confusing me now. Who is Roger? I thought we were discussing Emmanuel. I am surprised to hear that you're talking about a different person. I expected that Emmanuel Surlino would be a person with whom you would certainly already be acquainted. Okay, so what's the surname of the Emmanuel person you referred to? I still may be able to offer some assistance in tracing him. He just sent me a curt email saying, this is your mail of Friday, showing me the email where I had indeed, and of course quite deliberately, called him Roger. Funny that he never picked up on me calling him Robert when that was supposed to be his surname. We can infer from that he's probably from a place where surnames come first. Anyway, I said, what's your point? All of this seems to be quite unproductive distraction from the essential matter at hand. I don't know why you need to introduce this distraction. Why don't we just get on with the important business of tracking down Emmanuel? What's his surname? But sadly, Richard Roberts had stopped communicating with me and would not reply, despite several attempts. Michael Williams wrote, My name is Michael Williams. I am a newly promoted branch manager of a bank here in Ghana, West Africa. I got your information during my search through the internet. It may interest you to know that I am a man of peace and don't want problems. I only hope we can assist each other. If you don't want this business offer, kindly forget it, as I will not contact you again. I have packaged a financial transaction that will benefit both of us, As the branch manager of the bank, it's my duty to send in a financial report to my head office in the capital city Accra at the end of each year. In the course of the last year 2019 end of the year report, I discovered that my branch, in which I am the manager, made excess profit of $12.5 million, which my head office are not aware of and will never be aware of. I have since placed this fund in a sundry account. As an officer of the bank, I cannot be directly linked to this money, so this informed my contacting you for us to work together so that you can assist me and receive this fund into your bank account in your country for us to share. I am offering you 40% of the total fund, while you keep 60% for me in your bank account till I join you in your country for sharing and investment of my own share in the funds, or better still, we can go into a joint partnership venture. I will appreciate it very much. Now, he hadn't mentioned it, so I had to ask, is it 100% legal and risk-free? He said, thanks for your email. I want to assure you that this transaction is 100% risk-free. You have nothing to lose. I guarantee you that, so please kindly send me the requested details to enable me program your details in our bank database as the original depositor of the fund. Thank Whale, I wait your details. I probably should have played on that whale thing, but I just said, I'm delighted to hear it. What can you tell me about the modalities? He sent me one of those very standard scam template emails, which I won't bother to read in full. The only interesting thing about it was that it was addressed Hello Mary. Presumably he was also trying to scam someone called Mary alongside me, or, I hope, being scambaited by someone else alongside me, who was using a persona called Mary. Anyway, I said, my name is not Mary. He said, hello Marsh, sorry about that, best regard. Just one regard, not impressed. I asked, why did you call me Mary? But he never replied. So that brings us to the end of this episode of The Scammers Who Dumped Me. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.